Well, thank you very much, everyone. Great honor to be here. The purpose of our meeting today is to end another battle, a really horrible one, a war, something that we haven't seen since the Second World War, that is ravaging European soil, the deadliest and most destructive conflict that one can imagine. I've seen the pictures, I've seen the satellite photos and lots of other photos, and it's a horrible thing that's happening. Thousands of people are dying a week. This very day is the third anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine, which would never have happened if I was president. That was not going to happen. To worry about that, we have other things happening that maybe take that out of the realm of... And it's time to end this bloodletting and restore peace, and I think we're going to do it. We've had some great conversations, including with Russia. Like the Europeans, I believe that taxpayers in the United States also. And I've spoken with both President Putin and President Zelensky. And again, a lot of good things toward peace are happening, moving it, I think, pretty quickly. A report just given to me before walking in that our focus is on achieving a ceasefire as soon as possible and ultimately a permanent peace. My meeting with President Macron today was another important step forward in that sphere, because he's been very much involved right from the beginning in trying to get it over with, and we're going to get it done. I believe that Emmanuel agrees with me on many of the most important issues. Chief among them is this is the right time. It may be the only time, you know. This has led to the death of many, many people. I'm also pleased that President Macron agrees that the cost and burden of securing the peace must be borne by the nations of Europe, not alone by the United States. And Europe must take that central role in assuring long-term security of Ukraine, which they want to do. And that's not a very big step. The big step is what's going to happen over the next few weeks. Made Emmanuel a great deal of progress toward getting that. We must have an agreement with Ukraine on critical minerals and rare earths and various other things as security. And I think that that's happening. I think we've made a lot of progress. I had a report just given to me before walking in that we've made Emmanuel a great deal of progress toward getting that. That promotes peace around the world. And when I left office for the first administration, I think Russia, likewise, I've spoken to President Putin, and my people are dealing with him constantly, and his people in particular. And they want to do something. I mean, that's what I do. I do deals. My whole life is deals. That's all I know is deals. And I know when somebody wants to make it and when somebody doesn't. I will say this, before I came here, there was no communication with Russia whatsoever, and Russia wasn't answering calls. They were not talking to anybody. They wouldn't talk to anybody, and people sort of accepted that as being that they want to go forward and just keep going without stop. But when I got here, one of the first calls I made was to President Putin, and we were treated with great respect, and they want to end this war. So that's a big thing, because I didn't know if I could say that, but it's a big thing. They want to do it, and we didn't have inflation. It was a whole different world. We're working on deals right now, transactions right now, and in particular, the big one is to get the war stopped, whether it's ceasefire or direct to an agreement. Now we invite Emmanuel to say a few words.
Now this is a chance. There is a big change because there is a new U.S. administration. So this is a new context. So there is good reason for President Trump to re-engage with President Putin. Nous avons eu l'occasion ces dernières années lors. I think it's good to have discussion. I think it's useful to have negotiation. I think it's super important to go to the peace. But my strong point was to say, let's try to get something first which can be assessed, checked and verified. And let's be sure that we build sufficient guarantees on the short run. And this is where we are ready to be engaged. As for France, a lot of my European colleagues are ready to be engaged. But we do need this American backup, because this is part of the credibility of the security guarantees. And this is our collective deterrence capacity. Fait l'amitié à la France. Nous voulons la paix. Cette paix ne peut pas signifier la capitulation de l'Ukraine. Cette paix ne peut pas être un cessez-le-feu sans garantie. Cette paix doit prévoir les conditions d'une souveraineté ukrainienne, permettre à l'Ukraine de négocier avec les parties prenantes toutes les questions qui la touchent et pour laquelle elle est seule légitime à négocier. Mais c'est une paix dans laquelle nous devons prendre nos responsabilités pour maintenir dans la durée sécurité et stabilité pour l'Ukraine et pour toute la région. Et pour nous, Européens, c'est une question existentielle. Je suis venu aussi ici porter un message, Président, de très grande clarté de l'engagement européen. Nous sommes engagés pour bâtir une paix durable. Nous sommes engagés comme Européens pour être partie prenante, justement, de ces garanties de sécurité. Et plus largement, nous sommes engagés, conscients que nous sommes, que les Européens doivent encore faire davantage pour la sécurité de l'Europe, sa défense, et en quelque sorte un partage plus juste du fardeau sécuritaire que votre pays porte depuis plusieurs années. Et je veux vous dire combien, après ces échanges avec le président Trump, je suis convaincu qu'il y a un chemin. Nous avons partagé nos convictions, nos exigences. Nous savons tout le travail qui reste à faire. Et donc, dans les prochaines semaines, nous avancerons ensemble et nous aurons l'occasion, nos équipes puis nous, de nous revoir dans des formats différents pour faire de cette paix solide, durable, je l'espère avec beaucoup de force, une réalité de court terme. En tout cas, Monsieur le Président. Et donc, une fois qu'il y a une paix solide, durable, négociée, signée par l'Ukraine et la Russie, dont nous serons collectivement les garants, la France a travaillé avec le Royaume-Uni ces dernières semaines pour dire « nous, on est prêts à contribuer ». Et donc, on a eu un plan qui a été discuté entre nos entités militaires pour dire « nous, on est prêts ». Pas d'aller sur le front, pas aller dans des territoires contestés ou occupés, mais à marquer notre soutien pour nous assurer que la paix telle que négociée, signée par les deux parties, est bien préservée. Et donc, ce sont des déploiements, si je puis dire, totalement pacifiques, non engagés dans des combats, mais qui sont, si je puis dire, des déploiements de force de garantie. Elles seront, par définition, limitées, mais elles marquent une solidarité. Il veut la paix. Nous voulons la paix, on est totalement d'accord. Nous voulons un deal rapide, mais pas un accord qui soit fragile. C'est la sécurité aussi des Européens dont il s'agit. Et moi, c'est ce que je dis depuis des semaines. Si on ne garantit pas la sécurité de cette part du territoire de l'Europe, comment garantir notre propre sécurité à tous? Nous, nous vivons à 1500 km de l'Ukraine, nous Français. Et c'est encore plus près quand on est évidemment polonais ou allemand. Donc c'est notre engagement pour la sécurité collective. Et en quelque sorte, c'est répondre aussi à l'appel qui nous est fait. Vous devez, vous, être Européens, être davantage engagés. Mais nous, Américains, nous restons en solidarité. On le fait en Ukraine et on doit le faire aussi pour notre sécurité collective. Mais la clarification qu'on a eue aujourd'hui, pour moi, est un tournant. Nous avons eu des discussions. Elles seront poursuivies par nos ministres, nos équipes, pour clarifier les sujets qui doivent l'être. Mais au fond, notre volonté, c'est qu'il y ait une concurrence juste et, au fond, pas de biais dans la concurrence de nos industries pour pouvoir échanger. Thank you.
Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
No, in fact, to be frank, we paid 60% of the total effort, and it was through, like the US, loans, guarantee, grants, and we provided real money, to be clear. We have 230 billion frozen assets in Europe, Russian assets, but this is not as a collateral of a loan, because this is not our belonging. So they are frozen. If at the end of the day, in the negotiation we will have with Russia, they're ready to give it to us, super. It will be loan at the end of the day, and Russia will have paid for that.
If you believe that, it's okay with me.
Mr. President,
But they get their money back, we don't, and now we do. But, you know, that's only fair.
Mr. President,
will allow a truce to take place.